So I want to pull out some basic innovation metrics. I'm doing this on a very simple level. I go into this in great depth in the lessons which you can purchase off the website. So in a previous lesson I've done a basic breakdown of creativity versus innovation, and I've just used some basic measures. So problem identification plus idea generation, I'm using that to define creativity, and in the innovation phase I'm using idea selection plus idea development plus commercialization. Now all I want to do here is pull out that section, and there are various ways that we can drill deeper. So the frequency of idea generation, the number of ideas generated, the diversity of ideas generated, and the novelty of ideas generated. That's one form of measuring that domain. That sounds quite academic. If you ask someone who would normally be considered as being creative and innovative, let's say a musician or a filmmaker, if you ask a musician questions according to this framework, then they'll understand it. How often do you write songs? How many songs do you write? Are they all R&B, or are they? Do you write R&B plus jazz plus pop? What's the novelty? And do you input Asian fusion, African fusion into it? What degree of novelty do you get? So they may sound academic, but they're actually very, very practical. Now, one of the other things we can do with that sort of measurement framework, for example, is we can engage in various role-playing exercises, and we can impact the measure or measure the impact of various role-playing exercises on that. We can engage in various scenarios and again measure the impact according to those dimensions, and essentially come up with optimized methodologies. Right, now let's get away from this model and let's just use a basic value chain. So I'm using the value chain as a decomposition model: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, sales and marketing, service, and margin. So that's a very, very basic representation of an organization or a project. In essence, what you have is a strategy, and we're pulling in inputs, so raw materials, capital, core competencies, and you're creating products and services which, when they're delivered, give you your dollar margin. Now, we can just look at that, and let's just pull out this section here. We can take a timestamp, let's say 3 years, and we can say, well, in a 3-year period, what percentage of products have remained the same? What percentage of products have undergone incremental innovation? What percentage of products have undergone radical innovation? And what percentage of products are new? So there we have metrics. There's lots of other ways of looking at it. For example, we know that we have an internal and external organization, and we know we have various types of innovation. Let's say open innovation, where we have intellectual cross-pollination. We're pulling in information from external to the organization, and that is measured in a number of ways. So the percentage of patents used in a particular timestamp period will be another indicator. So that very basically goes over some of the metrics you can use, and essential basic methodology for pulling out metrics. And as I said in the beginning, I go over this in greater detail, and you can find out all about that by purchasing the complete range of lessons off the website.